welcome, family. So, welcome to a life lesson for a time such as now. I am Cece and your co-host, and we have Nay, your co-host, Crystal, your co-host, and Tracy. Say hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, and we also have a visitor today, Drea. Drea's in the
Hey,
Yeah.
Drea.
Hey,
Hey, Dray
Drea.
Dray.
So
That's my best
today,
friend, y'all. That's my best friend.
okay, so
My
that's
school
my
friend.
best friend. It's my best friend. Okay, ladies. So today we're doing a pro and cons of dating an older man, an older person. How do you feel about dating an older person? For me, um, I don't care. Like, well, I'm lying. I do care to a certain degree. When you're older, I don't care. If you're younger, dating an older person, I have a problem. But if you're of age and he's of age, no problem. So, what do you guys think?
So, basically, the topic can be older or younger, and for me, I don't really date either one. Um, older or younger. I like to date, in my own range, my own date range, like 2 or 3 years, older than me, maybe 1 year younger than me, but nothing more than that. There's no difference today because it just seems like the older men now are acting more like the younger men. You know what I mean? So is there really a difference? I feel like, with my age, because I am closer to 60, that they're still acting immature. So I don't even know if I want to date any
But
of them.
maybe that is a reason to go. Maybe you're saying 1 or 2 years. Maybe you should go 5 years. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Correct, correct.
5 years might be okay where you may feel a little bit more comfortable with someone who's experienced life and they don't want to play the games because that's what happens. 60, and let me tell you something, we young and beautiful, and so is the men. And
Mhm.
so at 60, they want to play the same games they were playing before.
Mhm.
And so it's about who wants to play that game, who doesn't.
Well, for me, and I'm just being honest, frank as I can be, I never was comfortable with an older man.
Okay.
For me now, because I am a certain age, if I'm dating 5 or 10 years, he may be closer to the grave. No,
Oh
thank
my
you. I
God.
don't think I want to do that. I want to stay right in my own age group. Younger, I feel like, the pros to me dating younger is because they have more energy, right? More life, more energy. Therefore, it could rub off on me. So if I was that type of date, a younger guy, it would be because of the energy and maybe sexually energetic more so than an older man. Because older men are, I guess, more so impotent than not. I'm just saying.
Wow. What
I
kind
didn't
of
say all
look,
of them. Wait.
look, what kind of older man you dealing
No,
with?
I'm just
It
we're,
said the
we're, talk,
ED
we're
is in the
talking
She
room.
older
got him in the
men.
grave, God damn it. You ain't
I
in the grave. They don't
said
get to go there either.
I said my age. So I'm 58, will be 59
Okay.
this year. And you're talking 10 years, that's 69 going on 70. Now, there are some men my age that's impotent. Let's just be honest.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
That's a fact.
There's some men that have some issues. Okay. That's not the most important thing to me, this time of my life. However, I'm saying the pros and the cons. That's a
Right.
con,
Okay.
right? Dating older men. That's a pro for dating younger men.
Yeah.
Well, let me
Well,
just say this. There are some men 20-year junior that are impotent, but I digress. Yeah.
Well, she
Just to
ain't
let you know,
listen,
just in case you
listen.
was
She ain't
wondering.
tried that out yet, so she don't know.
Well, I'm
She
here to
ain't
tell
tried it
y'all.
out.
I'm here to tell you.
well, I never experienced that, in my 20s or 30s. Okay.
But they out here. Ooh, they out here. And it has a lot to do with like their diet, their lifestyle, the drinking, the smoking, you know, um, their health. Yeah. I would definitely say mid 30s. They are experiencing that.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something
But
else.
then
Well,
Trey, wait, sorry, I'm because I ain't got no sense. But then Trey, so I'm just saying, I got to go back to you with the So my thing is, I know you got the menopause. You got the menopause going on, right? So you sexual?
I'm
You want to do it
currently in
all the time?
menopause. I'm sorry.
Okay, you want to do it all the time. So my thing is, getting an
I
older
didn't,
man,
I didn't
you
say
ain't got
that.
to do it all the time,
She
Right.
ain't
Well,
say that.
first of all, I didn't say that.
Hmm.
I didn't say any. I said
girl. You, I
that.
heard you. I heard you's a bunny. That's what I
I
just heard. You a
said
whole hot bunny.
no. I said what I said was I know what you're doing. I said
Where is this going?
right, but what I said was that now is not important to me anymore at this
Right,
age.
Right.
At this age,
right,
right? Because that's the least important. So if you're impotent, I'm cool with that. I'm just saying, you're saying pros and cons, right?
right, right,
I'm
right.
cool with that because that's not important to me
Yeah,
today, right?
Mm.
But I'm saying a lot of them may have some health issues, right? A lot of them may need some help, may not have a lot of energy to do anything, may be really stuck in
that
their,
helps.
they may be stuck in their, they may be stuck, in their ways. You know what I mean? Like, so that's
Right,
with the older guy. And then with the younger, I just feel like I'm dating one of my children. No, thank you.
Mm.
makes sense.
Mm.
Well, my experience, which is very brief, with dating a little younger, and the youngest I've dated probably is just maybe 3 years younger. I had to do a lot of teaching and guiding. When I was dating somebody that was older, 8 years my senior, he was a know-it-all, and he thought I knew nothing. And he thought I was moldable. And not saying I wouldn't try dating older again, but that was just my experience. So with the younger, at this age, when you date younger, you have to do a lot of teaching and teaching them how to treat you and teaching them how to be a man to you. And like I said, with the older, he was very arrogant. And it was like, you know nothing, I know everything. So I would say that was some of maybe the pros and cons with mm, dating younger. Well, that was just the cons. I don't know. Okay, so the pros is okay. So with dating older, he was more knowledgeable about certain things. I would say he did know how to hold down the household. So that would be more of the pros, but that's just my brief experience on both. That's what I have to add.
That sounds, I agree with you, Nay. I really agree with you on that because I think those are some of my experiences as well.
Hmm. Well, I guess I will go.
We waiting, girl. We waiting.
um, so this is my first like relationship with being with the older man. He's about 16 years or something like that. 16, 17 years older than me. And
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes, yes, yes. So, I think the pro for me is like, you know, I think older men or older people got this stigma with it. It's like, oh, you gotta be careful, make sure they're not old and tired. But I thought that when I met mine, that I was gonna run circles around him. And he runs circles around me. This man got a lot of energy, he's energetic, he's fun, he's outgoing, all those things. So that's like the pro. I like to learn new things, and I feel like I learned a lot from him. He throws a lot of gems at me. He has his own business for uh, several years now. So it's like, as an entrepreneur, I'm like, I want to learn a few, tips and, teach me the way. So I love the fact that my older man can teach me these things. And another thing is, another pro, I'm sorry, it's a lot of pros over here.
But
But
can I just? I just want you to, because you said a good point, and then you. So you said you don't like. You said older men tend to know it all, but this is an older man that's teaching you something.
right,
So even though he may know it all, he
he
don't
know
know
more
it
than
all.
me. He's
Right, but he's
teaching.
teaching you. That's different.
Right.
Right.
That's
That's a
different.
And he's
nice,
Like,
not
nice
arrogant and
pro.
boastful.
Yes, that's a
right.
Yeah.
nice
And
pro.
that's the scary part. Like, hopefully, being scared that because he's older, for him not to act like he's my dad or like he know more than I do, and like and treat me as such, but he doesn't. Like, he actually, I learn a lot from him. And also, I love the fact with older men is not all of them, but I'm gonna talk about my experience, is they for the most part, secure in themselves. They're not intimidated by the woman that they are with. They what's the other thing that I wanted to say? He's emotionally intelligent, and taught me how to do that and be that and communicate. So he communicates more. And the other thing is I love is that they know what they want. They know what they want and they know what they don't want. So that being said, it keeps me on my toes.
Mm-hmm.
So my experience has been actually pretty good. Thank God.
Thank
Um,
God.
the con, like I said, is being nervous about him not thinking that he knows it all, knows more than me, and act like I'm a child. And then another thing that could be scary that's a con is the older they get. It's like mood swings, like scared for him to be an old grumpy man. Sometimes, like I don't want no old grumpy man. So that could be the con.
Well,
But from
yeah,
my
because
experience, it's so
What
definitely.
about life expectancy? Do you
Right.
often worry about that?
um absolutely. I think we both are Aquarius, and we are kind of odd, and so we had this conversation before about that, and it was very brief, but it was like he said he thinks like he thought for a second like, wow, I want to be here as long as I can with her. Like I feel like one day I'm not going to be here with her.
Mm,
And he said he was there for 1 second, and he was like, you know what? No, spend every day you have with her like it's your last. Like just enjoy every moment with her. So
right.
I think that we both feel that way. I feel the same way. Like hopefully, knock on wood, he stay here as long as he can. As long as God will allow him to. But I do have that fear sometimes too, with the fact like one day he may leave me. So it does get scary. But I decided to stay in it because I feel like this is the best love I ever had.
That's right.
Okay, and I want to be able to say at least I was able to experience this kind of love than never had experienced at all.
Well, that's
That's my
Mhm.
good. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Let me also ask you about any experiences, pros and cons with dating younger. Have you ever dated a younger guy as well?
yes, ma'am, I have. Uh, um,
And would you recommend?
yes, I would recommend,
Okay.
depending on where you at in your life.
Mhm.
Where I was at in my life at that time, I needed that extra attention, to feel beautiful and feel seen and feel heard. I needed
Mhm.
that at that moment. So the moment I met the young bull, as they would say in Philly, the moment I met him, he was like, he gave me like life at that moment. Like
Mhm.
I felt beautiful, I felt sexy, I felt cute, I felt somewhat younger because I'm still young. I felt younger. I felt, seen. I felt heard. I felt appreciated. So that was the good thing, the pro about being a younger man. He was fun. He was exciting. That was definitely pro. The con was he just wasn't there yet mentally for me. Like far as like I know eventually I'm gonna want to have a relationship and get married and all those good things.
Right.
And at the time, I'm sure he was not in that mindset. He was all about fun, which was cool where I was at that moment as well. But it's like also, I know this sounds crazy, but it's so true when they say them young boys, some of them be like into their video games. It's times where he just be in his video game all day, like 5 hours,
Oh
and
no.
and, and I wasn't even there. I wasn't there. So I was
Right.
like, yeah, this ain't for me, kid. This ain't for me. But
Mhm.
it was good at that moment for sure. Very good at that moment. But I'm
Okay.
good. Yeah. Yes.
Any cons? So yeah, you did name the cons of dating younger as well. And so you said that you've been with your partner for how long?
A year and 4 months now.
Right.
Amen.
Down to the months. I know that's
Okay. Okay. Amen.
right.
So what about your experience, Nate, on dating younger men? Your pros and cons.
Well, like I said, I haven't dated too much younger, but when I was I think maybe 33, the guy was about 30. So he didn't have a lot of experience. So it was basically about teaching him how to treat a woman, how to be a protector, how to be a provider,
Right.
just basically the basics, like just the little things. It was a lot of teaching. And to this day he would say, "Oh, you've taught me so much." So it was a lot of teaching and guiding. And as a boy single mom, I
Mm-hmm.
think that we forget to teach our men how to treat women. Right. It's all about the raising and the upbringing. And, I'm on him about just being a good person and, finishing school and, if you have a young man that's out in the streets, not about being in the streets, but I missed the part about how to court, how to treat a woman.
Mm.
It just went from him being a little
Mm.
boy to him being a teenager and just making
Mm.
sure he's off in college and making sure
Yes.
that he's prepared for the world and, all of that aspect. But I didn't teach him how to court. I didn't teach him how to treat women. That was the furthest thing from my mind. He's my son. I'm not looking at him as a young man that's going to date.
Mm.
So,
Right.
when I did realize I was missing that mark, it was about me showing him how to open a door and how to carry
Right.
bags and how to be a provider.
Yeah, those things are.
And that's why it's essential for men to be in these young male lives because,
We
it's
doing
not
Yes.
so
that.
much
You
I
doing
can do.
everything, so it's
Yeah,
hard to remember everything.
I missed that part.
Mm.
Yes.
So I do believe that the male that I was dating, who was also raised by a single mom, she missed it. She definitely missed it. So
Mm.
here I am showing up, and now I'm a few years older, but I'm way more mature. Even though I'm a few years older, I'm like mentally, I'm 10 years his senior. So I'm teaching him how to treat a woman because his mom didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I can't fault her because I'm like, oh, your mom ain't teaching her, but then I realize I'm not even teaching my son that.
Right.
He's a good person and he's doing well in school and everything like that. But when it comes to how to show up out for a woman, it's blank. You know.
Mm.
Mm.
So I do feel like, that is definitely one of the cons of dating a younger male, depending on his upbringing and his
Yeah.
household. The pros is like Drea said, they are fun, they are energetic, we are outside. To Tracy's point, they do have a lot of stamina. Okay. But I can't take away from the older guy that I dated because, he has stamina as well. But anyway. Um but when it came to certain things of how to show up for a woman and, how to build a home and, how to be a provider, I didn't have to teach him those things.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Right.
say that. And some other things I had to teach him, but I didn't
Right.
have to teach him that. So
Mm-hmm.
there are both pros and cons to dating older and younger.
Mm.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
do
Well,
prefer
for me,
older
I'm going to jump
for the
in. Everyone
listeners.
had a chance to say something, so I'm going to
Come
give my
on,
little
Chris.
Well, we
$2.
was
That's,
waiting for you.
So,
We were
yeah,
waiting
put
for
it
you.
in, girl.
We
yeah,
was waiting.
well, okay. Well, I'm here. Okay. So for me, I've always dated older men. Um, it was a preference, more than a pro and a con. It was just a preference. I think I just liked older men because, you know, I was really
Mature.
mature when I was older.
Mm.
I mean, when I was younger, maybe a little too grown though, but I was a little mature, so I wanted something or somebody who could have, match me. And the younger guys weren't it for me. Um, but now today, okay, I got some older men. They got some stamina. It's like, wait, I'm kind of scared myself because it's like, they might
It's
try to
the
kill
pill,
me. Can I
Crystal.
keep
They on
up? You
that
know what I'm
pill.
saying?
They
You
on the
know,
honey pack. The pill.
huh?
They on the honey pack, girl.
Right.
Google the honey pack.
Right.
They on that honey.
But
Well,
I,
I
I,
don't.
I think, necessarily though. Not necessarily if
Huh?
he eats healthy, not necessarily.
It might
Right.
No,
give you
he's
a
not.
connection.
Okay. Y'all better
Well,
do
Might
I
y'all
don't
give you
know.
a
research.
connection.
Not necessarily. I just think he's in good shape. A friend of mine, he's a friend. He's in good shape. He do Juan, whatever, karate, whatever. I mean, he's in good
Quantizer.
shape for him to be the age. He's like 66. And he don't really have no fat. He's kind of toned. He's pretty good. I mean, he looks good for his age. But I think when I was younger, um, I guess it was pros because, the older men had the cars, back then I used to smoke weed, got my free weed,
Mhm.
so that was so that was the pros of it. Um, I don't know. The cons is what we were talking about, the age difference. Like once you start getting older, you know what I mean? You want somebody closer to your age. You don't want somebody 10 years, you're 60 and then they're 70. And then when you 70, they're 80. I think that's just a con, but I think whoever
Well,
you
you
love,
know
that's who
what?
you live.
Maybe, maybe not. Because if they got, listen, I'm looking at now, not reality, but reality. Because I'm not gonna lie. If they got the money that they talking about and blah blah blah, and I love him and he got money, yeah, we'll make it happen. I'm just saying that's me on my
I ain't
Lisa,
mad
you
at you
said
about
money
that.
twice.
At this point, me
No.
too.
It's
Look,
about
you can
some.
have one foot in the grave and
Yeah,
one foot out.
hello,
She
hello,
said, if they got the money,
If
hello.
they
I'm
got
good
some,
with it.
I listen, and I
If they
don't
got the
gotta.
money, they get the
We can make it happen.
honey.
I know, especially when I was younger. Maybe when I was younger, I was probably to your point, Crystal. I probably was a little hot ass. I'm just saying, but I always like somebody who can do something for me because this is my thought process. And God, they're gonna throw me off this damn show. If I'm giving you something, you better be giving me something.
I
So,
know.
I'm not giving
were
you
you
nothing for free,
girls that
no matter what.
prefer older men? Were y'all raised with your dads?
My dad died when I was 3, so
Okay, what about you, Crystal?
My dad, he wasn't in the house, but he was around. and I
Do you
and I
feel like
would
dating older, you were looking for that male father figure?
no,
no,
no. I just wanted
Y'all
no,
answer too quick.
because
no.
because
She said we answered too quick.
my
Y'all
father
answer
was
way too quick.
around. My father was around just because he wasn't in the house, and that's what I loved about my parents. They may have been separated, but we were still a family unit.
Yeah, I didn't have
If
that.
you can understand that.
I do
So he
understand that.
was a part of our life. He just didn't live in the house, but we would still have those family outings after church. Take the little rides in the country as a family time, take time out, to do family things. So no, I
So
wasn't
you
looking
wait.
for a
So
father
your
figure.
mom would still go out with him, and y'all go do family things, or was it family things with you and him and the kids, or was it
No, it was
all of y'all
family. It was
together? Oh
even though
wow!
my parents were separated,
Oh wow! That's
as a unit, as a family, they kept the family unit structure.
wow.
uh, Besides how they was feeling. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So we did things as a family. We took those, outings and did things together as a family in the house. So no, I wasn't looking for a family
Okay.
figure, a father figure. It's just that that was my preference. I preferred older men. Not that I was a hot ass. It's just that I
No.
was real mature at my age, and the guys my age really weren't doing anything for me.
Well, can I just say, Nate, that was actually a good question because you would probably think something like that, right? And so for me, I didn't have my father in my life consistently. But when I think about it, I didn't look at my boyfriend as like a father figure.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see how somebody could. Um,
No, not at your age, Drea.
yeah. So I
When
don't.
you were
I'm talking about
younger.
when they're younger, right? When you're a
Yeah.
teenager and you're in, and the boy that's 16, you're 16, he's
Mm-hmm.
16. All he can do is be like a brother to you, right?
Mm,
He doesn't have the car, he doesn't have the finances, he doesn't know how to be a provider, he doesn't know how to be a protector. But the guy that's 22, he might have, more
right.
assets, more cash, more money. He is able to pick you up from school and drive you home. He is able to take you out.
Mm-hmm.
He's not your peer,
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
He is more like an older figure in
Right.
your life that's
Yeah.
showing up how somebody isn't. But
Right.
I digress.
No. Right. No. So that's why I'm saying I agree and hear what you're saying.
But not at this big age. I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Yeah, no,
when they
but
was
that
younger.
what you
Yeah, because it is
saying,
different
what
at
you
your age.
saying is definitely you making a lot of sense what you're saying. But I'm saying for me, like I never thought I would be with somebody older, especially this much older than me, ever in my life. He just broke me down, man. He broke me down. You hear me?
It ain't take much.
Okay, I'm saying
He broke it all the way down, right?
all the way down. He was
Break it
like this.
down,
He was
man.
like,
Oh
"Yeah, girl."
Lord.
You know what I'm talking about? but it's a
If
consist.
that
It
ain't
was
Trey, I don't know who that is right now.
for the older, like for my older man, I could say, or probably others out there, the consistency. Like I said, like they know what they
Mhm.
want. So
Right.
he knew he was like, I want you, girl, okay, and I'm gonna get you. And so he worked. He was consistent. It was the courting, as Shanae, as Nate said, the courting, and you know how like men our age or whatever is like, oh, what you want to do? No, what you find the rest of my where you
Right.
want to go? Nah, it wasn't none of that. Okay, I never had
Mm-hmm.
to go through that. It was like, this is where we gonna go. I'm gonna pick you up at this time, and this is, you know what
Period.
I'm saying? That was it.
Right.
And it's still
The
like
man
that today.
thing.
I
Yeah.
never had to find plan nothing. I don't do nothing. I just sit there and be pretty.
Yeah, that's
I
a
know
nice
that's
feeling.
right.
You know what I'm talking about? The opening the doors,
It's a
the
nice
all of it.
feeling.
Right.
I
Say
get
it,
all of it.
Drea. You
I get
better
all of
say
that.
it, girl.
So that's the pro for older men. That is just like, wow, this how you coming?
Or
Wow.
with
So
some, right? Because we can't say all older men are like that.
No,
no,
You
that's
they
why I
you
ain't.
said
you
some.
met your man.
Some.
He's special, and we're gonna keep him there. He's a special man, and that's what we're
Mhm.
gonna keep him. Because
Yeah.
there's some older men that still haven't figured it out.
Right.
Whatever they
Okay.
lacking, they lacking.
Right.
I don't know how to bring it out of them, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this: it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Right.
Because if at the thing is now at your age that you are now, you
Mhm.
recognize I don't want this, I don't want that,
Right.
and he's bringing something different. All those things you don't want, he's bringing it to you, and so
Right.
that's why you embracing it. And
Right.
you guys are, and probably he experienced some of that too. And so
Right.
now y'all both bringing it together. That's why it's working.
That part,
Yeah.
because I believe that we met each other at the time we were supposed to meet each
And
other.
sometimes that's God's.
He had to experience whatever he experienced and went through, and same here for me, because I
Hmm.
feel like if I wasn't in the space that I am right now, I would have overlooked him.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he wasn't my type, all that.
yeah,
Like I would have
yeah.
overlooked
I
him.
get that.
And now, because my mind and my eyes is clearer, I'm not blind anymore. I can
Right.
see. I'm like, I saw him and he saw me, and then like that was it.
That was
So
it.
I think that is like
Love it.
fabulous, and it's awesome to have because not even whether he was younger or older, he was ready, and so
And you were ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
that part.
So I'm gonna start with you, Cece. What
Okay.
is your last life lessons for tonight?
Wow. So my life lessons is that I'm not mad at dating of someone older. Like I think I well, I say that in the age that I am now, right? So I think we have to be a little open. Things happen. You should be open into experiences, right? And so everybody have their own experience they want to learn or they want to be with, right? So we have to just be open and let it happen. But
Hmm.
God is good and shit happens and we're gonna make it happen. And once you know who you are and what you want, that's the only thing that's happening. We ain't let nothing else, none of that negativity is coming in. Not at no fit, not at almost 60. I don't want no negativity.
Mm,
I'm good.
I
That part.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Nay, what's your life lessons for tonight?
Well, my life lessons is age is nothing but a number. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's it.
my friend got somebody 16, is it 16 years? 16, 17 years has been
Okay.
here. And she found love and he's able to keep up with her, sometimes run circles around her. Okay.
Yes.
And okay. And then I've also heard of, I've had friends that dated men, 12 years they senior, similar age, and they're still trying to teach them. So age is
Hmm.
definitely nothing but a number.
That
I
part.
love
And then
it.
I've had some friends that dated 10 years they junior,
Hmm.
and these men have put them up, changed their life,
Hmm.
poured into them. So it's just like Cece said, who's for you is for you.
Yep.
I love it. Thank you.
That's my lesson.
So our guest, co-host, Drea, what's your life lessons for tonight?
Um. So I agree with CC and Nay. Um. That age is nothing but a number, but I also have learned that love is love, and like you have to have your heart open to
Mm-hmm.
find that love that is
Mm-hmm.
ready and stable enough for you, your match, your connection. I've noticed like when I wasn't looking for it and it just found me. And I feel like it was just at the right time in my life. So I feel like you have to look at yourself in that moment of where you at in your life, what you ready for. Sometimes you can't go on getting you can't go looking for your type. Sometimes you gotta switch it up, and I feel like when you switch it up, sometimes some change some change come along. Okay. And you have to allow yourself to look outside the box. Something that you would normally look for, and open your heart and take a risk. And if the connection is there and God is talking to you and he's talking to you, telling you this is it right here, go ahead for it.
Yeah,
That's how I
I
learned.
love
I
it.
love it. I
Yeah,
love
that
it.
was good right there.
that was good.
Crystal, what's
Yo,
your
Dre
life
Dre, he got
lesson
any
for tonight?
friends? Got any friends?
I'll talk to you after the show.
I'm like, girl.
Well, you guys said it all, I really don't have anything to say. Just, whatever makes you happy, go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice and short, huh? So
Nice and
my
dry.
life,
Yeah,
my life
it's really
lesson
dry,
is
Crystal.
basically
Right. Can't be spicy all the time.
that's it. That's
No, because she
it.
be spicy on here.
That's it. My life lesson for tonight is all of the above. What everyone said, it's so true. Age ain't nothing but a number. Think outside the box. All of those things that was just talked about with our co-host. It's about love. Always saying, loving you first, and that love is going to come to you.
It spills out.
It does.
Spills
It
out.
Talk to
spills
him.
out.
Talk to
That's
him.
it. And that's where it comes from, right? Because it gravitates to you once you
Yes.
start loving yourself. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's also give a shout out to Jay Wills. Jay Wills,
Jay
feel
Will.
better. Feel
Yes, I
better.
miss you.
He should be on soon. And we'll see you next time on Life Lessons for a Time Such as Now. Good night.
Good night.
All
Good
right.
night. Good
Bye.
night.